So here we go. Let's hope that we can keep the intensity high here, Keith, despite the humidity.
Yeah, no changes for Chelsea. Antonio Conte may well have earmarked certain changes. Maybe not too pleased with what he's seen, certainly in the opening half an hour. A different dynamic now for Bayern. Thomas Muller probably push up into that striking position. Lewandowski coming off. Give us a chance to see James Rodriguez in that more central area.
Jeremy Bogi given his chance by Conte. Injury to Pedro probably helping in that respect. And of course Kennedy also departing from the Chelsea squad. Not his finest moment.
Just shows how young players have to be so careful with social media this day and age. If used properly, it's a nice tool to interact with the fans, but with that comes a huge amount of responsibility.
Well, Conte is so sharp on all those aspects of behaviour with his players. And of course the other element to the tour out here is the commercial side of it. Chelsea have their responsibilities and they want to live up to them. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson. Here's Rafinha. We've got the fun started with that early goal here for Bayern. Renato Sanchez. I think this could become the biggest theme of the day for Bayern, whether they win or lose the game, Keith, that they've got a performance out of Renato Sanchez.
He's been superb physically, in possession. He's pulled the strings, taken very few touches. He's always been available as an option for teammates, dropping into little areas like this just to provide the extra man. It's been superb.
Made life much easier for Martinez and Hummels as well, hasn't he? Friedel to Frischtel, two of the prospects from the Bayern Academy. Conte looking for Chelsea to press. On by Tolisso. He too has played his part here. Still getting to know his new teammates. Muller will be down the middle without Lewandowski.
Clearly tweaked at a half-time. Conte, good at position of the back five there. First half, Alonso, Moses wouldn't have even been in sight. The camera, leaving that back through, way too exposed. Playing more like a back five in the opening stages of the second half.
And watch the way Moses is now closing in on the far side as the players on this side. Absolutely right. I only mentioned it first half because having watched Chelsea a lot last season, Keith, I couldn't believe how advanced they both were.
It simply wasn't them, wasn't it? You know, you can accept in pre-season sloppiness, tiredness, but starting positions, reactions, they should still be there. It's been ingrained in them for a whole season now under Conte.
Well, Alonso's got to track back quickly against Coman here. Interesting change, really, when it worked so well down the right in the first half for Bayern.
He's just balancing the minutes up. Purely has to be down to that. Lewandowski had a large chunk of the game against Milan. Obviously earmarked just to play a half today. But he was very, very sharp.
Tolisso. Not quite in the Muller class from the first half. What of his contribution here today so far?
Yeah, I've liked him. I have to say, I thought he was a good signing from Lyon. Couldn't really affect the game against Milan the other day. But today, himself and Sanchez have been outstanding in the heart of the midfield.
Slip by Martinez might have been costly, covered off by Hummels. Renato Sanchez. I think as a contest, perhaps the next goal defines this game, doesn't it?
Very much so. Just with the whole way, look, there's that back five now in place. Chelsea or Conte's worked on at half-time. He clearly doesn't want to concede any more goals. Certainly not how cheaply they conceded in the first half. He's tried to sort that out first and foremost.
Willian, always a bright spark. Friedel just got the toe there and on the ball, not on the man, but Willian went down anyway. And sportingly put out of play by Bayern.
It's a good break, and Willian just knocks it. James Rodriguez, super tackle.
Seeing other dimensions here to James Rodriguez, aren't we? Martinez, Rafinha, direct by Hummels. Just a bit too much on it for James Rodriguez. Christensen back to Courtois. Good movement then by Christensen. Azpilicueta. And long by Courtois, but out of play. That press by Brian, so sharp.
And they do it in numbers as well. You see players going individually, 2 and 3 at a time, recognising when to pressurise that Chelsea defence.
Martinez, Renato Sanchez to Hummels. Ribery trying to run in behind. Friedel pressed high on Moses. And again the red shirts squeezing up. Chelsea out this side to Alonso. Rafinha on Alonso. I'm sure there will be changes here, of course, for Chelsea, but as to whether they can affect the pattern of the game without a player like Eden Hazard, I'm not sure that they can today, Keith.
I think they've missed that magic, haven't they? You think about last season, the front three in the main, certainly second half of the season, was Pedro, Hazard, and Diego Costa. The three of those not available today for very different reasons, obviously.
Kingsley Coman. Switch by Renato Sanchez. Friedel creeping forward from left back. Ribery. He's gone again here, Friedel. He's not the quickest, and there's a good recovery by Azpilicueta. A little sloppy again, perhaps, by Courtois.
I think so. I think he's been at the races. Whether it might be a little bit harsh, but the first goal, Rafinha, he's seen it all the way. Yes, it was a good strike. Certainly, the standards that he has set the last few years. You would expect him to maybe tip that one around the post.
The competition will be provided by Willy Caballero at Chelsea in the new season. Begovic departing for Bournemouth. Here's Rafinha. Would you see Caballero as a capable deputy?
Yeah, very much so. I think he done well when called upon last year in City.
Koeman says to Alonso, see you later. Ribery, well, he's Frank Ribery, he's entitled to do it.
Kingsley Coman's been bright, hasn't he, since he's come on, giving Alonso a little bit of a run around. He knows exactly what he's doing. Ribery just holds his position, recognises where the space is, just can't get over it. Keep it down. I think with Caballero and the whole Begovic, it's Porto again, distribution, not on point, holds his hand up, recognises it. Again, it's a case of balancing the books to a degree. They sell Begovic for a nice profit. And Caballero in on a free transfer. Very, very experienced goalkeeper that is now used to the Premier League.
Certainly a great move for Willy Caballero. Friedel. 3 in the box for Bayern. James attacked it. Might have had 2 in this game.
I think he should have had 2. The run is exceptional. Looking at the bottom of the screen again, Alonso doesn't pick him out. Friedel produces a lovely ball, cultured into a lovely area. Alonso's not aware of it. He's only inches away.
Tolisso. Bayern looking very menacing again here. Chelsea at least have got bodies back, including both of those wing backs. They do seem to have had a little bit of a telling off, and Moses certainly did well then. Conte looking for more. Marcos Alonso. Pushed out of the way by Martinez.
Looks like he's flagging now. Alonso, a role that him and Moses play. Very demanding physically.
Well, looks like the boss is ready to flog him out there at the moment. Keep going. Forward by Fabregas. Moses. Azpilicueta to Fabregas. Looking for the movement. Oh, it's almost nicked right off him by Tolisso. Fabregas says, well, there wasn't a lot on. Kante trying to inject something. Marcos Alonso now. Fabregas. Willian. He has provided hope at times in this game. Gives it back to Fabregas. He's looking for Marcos Alonso, but that is all too easy. Rafinha gets the round of applause and the high five from Martinez. No threat for Bayern. Looks to me like these Bayern defenders are also aware of their responsibility to keep the opposition out. They rather crumbled against Milan. Renato Sanchez. Back to him by Tolisso. Fairly hectic schedule really, Keith, in the first couple of the months for Bayern compared to many other top clubs. They started their pre-season preparations early, as they tend to do, right at the end of June, regardless of international call-ups. Here goes Ribery. He's been working hard, hasn't he? And he's set it up for James Rodriguez. Is this the moment? No, it's a brilliant block to deny him by Gary Cahill.
Superb recovery by Cahill. He was outnumbered. Frank Ribery. Again, blind the ears. The way to pass, beautiful. Coman and James Rodriguez available. But it's last-ditch defending by Cahill, and he's been the one defender today has really stuck to his guns. At times that's happened. Alonso hasn't got in to provide that cover.
James takes the corner. Cleared by Batshuayi. Tolisso. Ribéry. Chelsea backed off him. Bayern get another corner.
Again, it's bright play by Bayern. Kingsley Coman and into Tolisso, who feeds Ribéry. Nice composure.
On the hour mark, some changes afoot here. Marcos Alonso clear. Nice take by Willian.
Thomas Muller's been quite quiet since he's gone into that advanced area. Not as much space in the second half for the Bayern players to capitalise on. Conte clearly tweaked things at half-time.
I don't think even Muller would contest this statement. He doesn't have Lewandowski's change of pace, and that was a real problem for Chelsea in the first half. Muller, a very able foil, playing off the front. James Rodriguez taking a more central role this second half and doing well. On by Ribéry. Coman. Nice link-up play. Kingsley Coman. Renato Sanchez. It's higher and wider than Ribéry's a few minutes ago. But they're not letting the energy level drop here, Bayern. Now, one of these changes, remembering that we will also have a water break later in the half. So Alvaro Morata and David Luiz are coming on for Chelsea. This time last year all the talk was about Luiz, and of course now Morata, who signs from Real Madrid for nearly £60 million. Jeremy Boga has made way. He made some headway, Boga, but let's see what Morata can produce. Milos Pantovic has come on in the middle of the park for Bayern. Martinez got above Morata straight away. And in at right back is Felix Götze for Bayern. Famous family name, of course. Felix, the young brother. Hummels played with Mario at Dortmund and of course with Germany. Here's Morata. As well as the goals, what he does provide, Keith, is outside.
From Juve, it was such a success.
Chase for Alonso, couldn't get there.
I would fully expect a fully fit Morata. Should have been a goal. A little bit flat-footed. Getting to know his teammates, maybe. It's a lovely cross.
Surely we'll need a game or two to get up to sharpness. David Luiz not messing about. He's actually got a free kick for Chelsea.
Referee done well. See, could he play the advantage? James Rodriguez just catching David Luiz as he nicked it.
Kante. Sanchez. Perhaps a little bit more elegant. It's another element to life at this time of the year, though, Keith, surely. Martinez did well in the air again. You really have to bring some young players on the tour, don't you? You have to do that.
Well, if you're not going to blood young players in pre-season, you're never going to. The strength, the travelling that these teams are doing as well, injuries that inevitably will pick up, fatigue. It's imperative. If you're going to trust them, give them the opportunity in environments like this.
Chelsea on the press here. Martinez stepped in again. Now, bound to break quickly. Kingsley Coman and Chelsea are very stretched suddenly defensively. It's 4-on-3. It's James Rodriguez looking for Ribéry. James again. Everything he tries misses.
Another blistering attack from Bayern. James Rodriguez. He's left his shooting boots at home. Ribéry is trying to orchestrate something. He finds Rodriguez again. Had options. Coman to Thomas Muller. Again, just can't quite find the back of the net.
Ten attempts, 3 goals, reasonable ratio, but Bayern have had the chances to do even better in this game. 3 or 4 for James, and we've decided that we'll forgive Ribéry that attempt at the spectacular simply because he's Frank Ribéry. Here's Felix Götze. Coman, who's looked bright. Ribéry twisting both ways. Oh, brilliant by Frank Ribéry. James Rodriguez, and this time Courtois gets a very, very sharp save in. And he needed to.
Has Frank Ribéry ever ceased to amaze you? Just take a look at this close control, and knowing when to lay it off. As Moses comes into contact, knows exactly what he's doing. Slides James Rodriguez in. And again, he just can't beat Courtois.
Best piece of work tonight from Courtois' side. Rodriguez on the corner. Martinez with the header wide. Well, it's very intense still, isn't it?
Decent corner. James Rodriguez. Always going to be difficult for Martinez. Backpedaling, trying to head it back to where it came from.
Morata kept going. Marcos Alonso trying to get those legs working this side. Batshuayi and Morata in the box, but Götze stopped the cross from coming in, and was the boss there, but he's presented it back to Alonso, who keeps going and going. Kante, Fabregas, Marcos Alonso again, off the shins of Batshuayi. There's a offside flag, I think, Keith.
I think it's for the initial ball to Alonso from Fabregas. Alonso stuck to his guns there. At one stage it looked like he was running in quicksand. He really is flagging. Surely Conte's thinking about how can that change.
Ribery simply indefatigable, keeping going. Muller looking a bit more tired then as he gave it away. And there's a little elbow there, surely, by Götze. Stern challenge. He's nothing like his brother, is he? This young fullback.
He's got straight in, hasn't he? He's had a couple of tussles already. He's only been on the pitch a matter of minutes. Stopped Morata in his tracks there. That's exactly what he's doing.
Fabregas. So competitive, this meeting of the champions of England and Germany. Batshuayi, nice layoff this time, but it's over the top from Willian.
Well, Hummels and Martinez get caught out. Hummels way too advanced. Martinez nowhere, so the gaps in the defence. Batshuayi tries to lay it off to Willian. He's saying he wants it a little bit gentler.
David Luiz isn't messing around either in this game. Looking to energise Chelsea. There's plenty of hope here. Willian. Luiz again. Deflection on it. Oh, saved by the post. Früchtel wasn't getting there, the goalkeeper. Big drive here by Chelsea, and their supporters are loving it in Singapore.
And he's right at the heart of it. David Luiz, he has injected a little bit of spirit into this Chelsea side. It's a scrappy one.
They're not used to losing games, Chelsea, and they don't want to lose this one either. Bayern get a free kick. Bayern looking ragged defensively now, Keith.
Only made the couple of changes, 2-3 changes. Starting to tire inevitably. This is Luiz's strike. Doesn't really catch it. That's sweet. A little deflection. Just off the post for a corner kick.
Früchtel says to all these Bayern players, go on, get down the field. I'm going to punt this out as far as I can. Good spell from Chelsea. And they come again. Batshuayi. Morata made good headway down the middle. I think it'd be a huge addition for Chelsea. Here goes Coman. There's a little pullback, I think, by Alonso then.
He'd be lucky to escape a yellow card here. Referee just calling Marcos Alonso back. Blatant pull of the jersey. Coman was surely going to exploit that space left.
Time for the second drinks break here. Welcome respite because the pace has not flagged. As you said, what is he made of, Frank Ribery? .34 going on 17, isn't he? Amazing. Bayern are putting it all in here. They very badly want a victory after stumbling in the first part of this tour. Chelsea looking for a big finish. They've kept at it so very well here. The 34-year-old who's done it all, that's the chance we're going to permit him to have today to do the spectacular.
It's a great opportunity for James Rodriguez. He ghosted in from that right-hand side. Alonso let him go. In fairness to Alonso, he did have two men. He's disappointed.
And Luis sent out there to make things happen in his own remarkable way, and very nearly doing that. Bayern saved by the post with their second choice goalkeeper today, young Früchtel, in goal. Come on, let's put it all in here, he says. 15 minutes plus stoppages. Chelsea need 2 at least. If they get to 2, and if it were to end in a draw, it will be a penalty shootout. Still a long way to go, of course. But it is that indomitable will, isn't it, that Conte insists on. We're never beaten, we always keep going, whatever the scoreboard says. Very much so. And half-time, there's been a real change in the way they've set up. Batshuayi from a long way out. Must have been a hell of a strike from there. Batshuayi doesn't have the opportunities that he had to shine against Arsenal. Martinez drops off a little bit. He's never going to trouble Früchtel. Chelsea pressing up on Bayern now, as Bayern did to Chelsea in the first half. Coman into top gear here. Kingsley Coman. Ribéry didn't want to give it to James Rodriguez. Now he does. Room had rather been closed down. Coman. Looks really sharp, doesn't he, Kingsley Coman? Renato Sanchez. Wasn't really threatening. Moses. Chelsea looking to finish strong. It's been an arduous tour for a sub-strength Bayern squad, working very, very hard in July and August, as they tend to do. Drops it on Morata. Götze yet again, heart of the action. He's got a point. Clearly gets the ball. It's a bit like Jack Charlton and Bobby Charlton, those two brothers, isn't it? Pantovic. Moses has come onto the left-hand side. I think Tomori has come on. Marcus Alonso. A testing evening. We mentioned the departure of several of the 19, 20, 21-year-olds who've threatened to make an impact at first-team level, and of course it does open the door for others, like 19-year-old Fikayo Tomori, born in Canada, playing for the England under-20s, of course, in that very successful World Cup winning team. Morata keeping going. Bayern wanted an offside. I don't think it was for that. No, I think he's given it for this one, which is the softest free kick it's probably been given in this tournament. Friedel to Ribéry. Renato Sanchez. Rolled up to Coman. Cahill does his best to look unconcerned, even though he's left on the deck as well, and that's going to be a free kick. Muller tracking back on Moses. And a lot better in the second half, Victor Moses, defensively certainly, and driving his team forward, stuck to his task very, very well. Two more changes here for Bayern. Well, he's going to get a hero's reception here, as is Thomas Muller. Frank Ribéry has been wonderful to watch. And Müller getting the 2 goals today for Bayern Munich, looking much more like his old self. So 2 veterans, but still with a huge part to play in the months ahead for Bayern Munich. Niklas Dorsch is coming on as Ancelotti gives the youngsters their chance.
It's interesting we speak about young players and getting the opportunity in pre-season. It's also really important for Thomas Müller. Those 2 goals today, just even with a man of his experience, what he's done in the game, still will be very keen to have a good pre-season, to bring it in to the competitive league, Champions League, going forward.
10 minutes ahead for Bayern, and it might be quite hard working 10 minutes because Chelsea haven't given up on this. Moses going against Götze. Gary Cahill well forward. Nicely done. Moses again. 4 in the box for Chelsea. Tomori coming off his flank.
Victor Moses does really well. Recognises where the space is. Friedel tucked right in from that left back position, and Tomori, to say, was favourite. Friedel does well in the end.
Keith, these youngsters on this tour for Chelsea, like this fellow here, do you think Conte was happy to see the others like Chalobah, Loftus-Cheek departing because he thinks that these kids have also got a big chance?
I think it gets to a stage when you have to make a decision on the player's future. You know, we look at Loftus-Cheek. This time next year we'll know whether he's going to play the following season in a Chelsea shirt, obviously depending how he gets on at Crystal Palace. Chalobah was very patient last year. He was always in and around the squad. But I think the combination of the club, the player as well, maybe forcing the move to a degree. But it's a conveyor belt at Chelsea. They have a relentless amount of talent coming all the way through. It's just bridging that gap. Who can make an impact on that first team?
Each one of these youngsters is so very keen to do exactly that, you know, or I mentioned the tremendous success for England's underage teams over the last few months, and so many bright prospects, but they're not going to flourish if they don't get first team time, and therefore they won't step up to the full international squad.
You're talking about Chelsea as Premier League champions. It's so hard to break into that starting lineup, that match day squad. So it's vital that they do utilise the loan system. They go and experience first team football, which many do. But hopefully, the aim, I'm sure, within Chelsea is after those loan spells that they can start to put some of their own homegrown talent into the first team.
You're now working with the Republic of Ireland underage teams, and of course I think it's right to say one can only dream of having the choice that the England underage teams have at the moment, but it's so important for the senior team that they get the opportunity to make the progress.
It is. It's a knock-on effect. It's so hard to break into first team environments in this day and age, harder than it's ever been. The scouting networks worldwide, choice. When I broke through, it was just the British Isles, and you're up against now the youth teams and throughout the Premier League, South Americans, African players all around Europe. It's tough for our homegrown players to make an impact.
Chelsea are very rightly proud of their production line. No problems this time as they stay in the hunt in this game. Eduardo getting down. Conte's going to give a run out to a couple more in a moment. I think it's entirely understandable from Bayern's point of view, Keith, that they are making these changes. Here's Moses. Morata. Trying to get the rust out of the legs, isn't he?
Yeah, very much so. Good link-up play. The timing of his run to be available for Moses. I think at this stage of pre-season, you're right, the players that they need to get the minutes. They're staying on the pitch longer. At the start of pre-season, very much 45 minutes each.
And now they're back in it. It's turned in by Batshuayi, or is it going to count? Yes, it is going to count. And maybe it's not all over here. Bayern's occasional defensive frailty showing themselves again.
Well, it's far from dominating defending. Mats Hummels very, very disappointed to concede like that. It's Fabregas with the corner. It's a little flick on, actually comes off Winsheimer. Morata contesting at the front post. Batshuayi, far too much space right in the heart of the 6-yard box. Good concentration to finish it.
That's his last involvement. Picked his moments, doesn't he? Premier League decisive goal in the Championship race, and a goal here to enliven this late on against Bayern Munich. Bayern have been warned for the months ahead, should they meet again in the Champions League, incidentally. But what of this in the International Champions Cup? Chelsea have got better and better. And Bayern look a little bit bedraggled now after all the changes. They had a firm grip on this for a long time. What a lift it would be for Chelsea to come back from 3-0 down here, and you know, there would definitely be questions asked from Bayern's side. The overpowering legends who run the show behind the scenes, Rummenigge and Hoeneß, they're not used to see Bayern going 3 games in a row ever without a win, whatever the context. Look at Chelsea, they're buzzing away, they want to haul this back. That will please Conte so much, won't it?
Yeah, and it goes back to the point we were making earlier about how well this tournament has been contested by nearly every team, and every game, it has to be said.
Moses thought he'd got away from Götze. Bayern breathe again here.
It's been a good little battle, that one. Götze initially up against Alonso. Now Moses. Initially it could have been the other way around, that one.
In fairness to Bayern, if they are looking a bit weary now, it's been an arduous pre-season. It starts in the latter part of June for most of the players who are not on international duty. They played a couple of low-key friendlies against lower league teams back home, and then they play a sort of 45-minute aside senior tournament against Hoffenheim and Werder Bremen before coming out here even. Then Arsenal, Milan, Chelsea, and it keeps coming. Another 2 days they play Inter. They don't complain, of course, they get their midwinter break, but they do it differently.
Again, another questionable free kick. Cahill clearly gets the ball,
as he said. Coman. Moses has got better and better in this game. Still time for more. Kante. Coman working back hard, but Moses has got away from him. Almost. So frustrated with himself. He thought he was going to have a run then. Instead it's Kingsley Coman, and we know he can run. James Rodriguez is on outside him. Now will he go for it, or will he settle for taking some time out here? I think he's done that. Coman. All the way back by Götze. Sums up the state of the game now, really. Martinez. Rather theatrical. Cahill on James Rodriguez.
It's patient play by Bayern, using that experience. James initially slinging the ball into the box. Had very few numbers. Gets involved in the second phase of the attack. Buys a free kick for his side again. Valuable time. There's no rush to get up, James.
Friedel. No problems for Luis. The only problem for Chelsea now is the time factor, I think. Eduardo got there. 4 stoppage minutes. Certainly been a hard workout for Ancelotti's men again, and Chelsea maybe even now are not finished. In all honesty, Chelsea did not play very well in the first half, Keith, but what does it say about the mentality that Conte has embedded in this club now, that they've fought so very hard here?
I think second half they've been a different team. Bayern haven't hit the heights that they did in the first half, it must be said, but tactically he tweaked it at half-time. They've been a lot more compact, a lot more resolute. They've been the ruthless Chelsea that we've been accustomed to watching.
Conte leads them up again. Willian took it over from Baker, senior man I suppose you could say. That's a pretty optimistic hit from that range, with so many red and white shirts in the way, but they come again with Moses here. Götze, strong and determined, did well. Just what Bayern needed.
Been impressed with him since he's come on. Victor Moses still going very strong. Victor Moses just tries to drag it. He stays on his feet very well. Götze.
Coman, denied by Gary Cahill. Azpilicueta looking to launch it. Tomori instead. Morata goes over. Chelsea don't get the free kick.
Difference of opinion there. Hummels, Morata. Let's have another look. Very minimal contact, if at all.
Dare I say, in Spain he would have got it. Former Real Madrid man Rodriguez. Friedel trying to play forward. Needs this victory, doesn't he? Needs to put it in the bank. He's almost there.
I think he'll be happy. He was always expecting a reaction from that man. Tactically, he got it spot on at half-time, got his team back into it, but he said in the first few minutes he didn't want his team to concede again, and they haven't.
Conte will surely be very, very pleased with the second half overall. But it looks now like Chelsea might fall just short. Baker. On by Willian to Moses. Might be more defending for Bayern to do here. He's got away from Götze this time. Dorsch came to help. Stuck to his guns well. Conte grabs it. Willian can't use it. Still Chelsea fighting for everything. That's what Conte wants to see from this Chelsea team. But they're going to come up just short here. Well, what an outstanding contest. Nothing pre-season about it whatsoever. Again today in the International Champions Cup. Everybody put everything in, and Chelsea came mighty close to rescuing it from 3-0 down.